This is Warno's most powerful feature for testing, figuring out what's going on. The pros know how to do it, but after this, so will you. This is called Dev Mode. The way you activate it is by you go on Steam, and when you're going to launch Warno, right, you press Properties, you come down here to Selected Launch Option, and you add dash dev mode. I also have dash skip intro, which skips the intro. That's a freebie for you. Could have made a whole separate video about that. But you do dash dev mode, and then you launch the game. Now, when you launch the game, you won't be able to play in multiplayer or anything like that. It will say multiplayer is not available in this mode, but you can go into skirmish to test things. You can play as any division. It doesn't matter. You can spawn any unit in the game. So you get in game, you hit F1. Hit F1, right? And it will come up with this. It's basically got every single unit in the game. I'll admit, some of the it does disable your WASD moving, so you can't move the camera around while this is open. It's just F1 to make it appear and disappear. There's a helpful help thing here. I know that most of you can't read, so I'll read this out for you. It says, this menu configures unit spawns for debug purposes. Units spawn on the ground under where the mouse cursor is. You can also spawn air units and they'll spawn where the mouse cursor is. Right? Now, to spawn a player unit, you use Shift plus the key. We'll get to the keys. And to spawn an enemy unit, you use Shift plus Alt plus key. So, what does it mean by that? There's also, you can spawn multiple units and stuff. It's not really too important, but it is there. So these are the keys, right? So let's say I want to spawn a fob, a Belgian fob. Well, let's make something a bit more interesting. Let's spawn some Reservisti. So I can set any key that if I press this key, it will spawn it. The numbers keys don't work. That's what I figured, because the numbers would be the most useful one, right? But the numbers keys don't work. So I can add, I don't know, G for Reservisti. You come up here and you press save. And then, okay, so if I do, remember the help, Shift plus key to spawn a player unit, Shift plus Alt plus key to spawn an enemy unit. So here, Shift G, there's my Reservisti, right? And then Shift Alt G, and there's my enemy. Oh, I have to launch the battle first. Reservisti, and there you go. And this, you can see how useful this is for testing things. If you want to know if one infantry unit beats another unit, you can launch the game with dev mode, and you can just spawn 10 of one and 10 of the other and see what happens, right? You can learn a lot from it. Now, there are a couple things in this which don't seem to work the same way they do in-game. So, I don't know if they fixed this since I heard about it, but if we put this on H for a howitzer, H for howitzer, right? And I do Shift H, and I spawn a bunch of M109s. Now, what I was told by Wobulator, and they provided evidence, was that the howitzers had some kind of irregularity in how fast they fire. Like, they didn't all fire at the same rate or something. Like, some of them aimed faster than others. They might have fixed it, basically. So, it's just... Right, hang on. I need to put it on return fire, right? So they all fire at once. And then they should remain synchronized. You can also speed things up and slow things down. Checking in on our Reservisti here. Looks like I've won because I'm just cooler, right? Obviously there's a bit of RNG involved, right? And also if all my guys are shooting at one target, they're going to win. Back to this. So, maybe I didn't understand exactly what they were saying. Or maybe they just fixed it. But basically, you just need to keep in mind that some things don't really work the right way in this compared to the normal game. Now, what did it mean by A and Q keys? So basically, instead of constantly setting these keys manually, right, you can just say, let's get some Navy SEALs versus, right, and I can set A, so I don't have to type a key or whatever. I can just set A, and then I can go to Spetsnaz, and I can set Q. Now, I don't know if you can set multiple things on Q. You cannot, right? So this helps you with not having keys overlapping and stuff like that. These seem pretty synchronized, so I assume that bug must have been fixed, basically. So So yeah, you can only have one thing on A, one thing on Q. You don't have to type these in, save it, and then I can, pause because I don't want them all to start shooting at each other yet. And I can shift Q, 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 and that should give me 3 Spetsnaz. Yeah, and then shift Alt A, and that should have given me 3 Navy SEALs. And now we can see the Navy SEALs versus... You'd expect the Spetsnaz to win because of the RPOs, right? But this one Reservisti, he's pulling his weight there. So that's it. I mean, it's a really, really cool feature. It works for planes and stuff. And you can also use this for, machinimas or whatever. So if you want to do, like, cool cinematics, I believe a lot of the cinematics they make are done using this feature. My cinematics tend to just be, me in a ranked game. But now that I know about this, I will upgrade it. I will try to upgrade it. And yeah, you can just, set this to A, press save, and then here we go. And you can do some crazy stuff, right? Things that wouldn't be possible in a normal game, such as having 10 million Mirage seeds. And so on and so on. You can make some very, very big battles, right? And let's get some MiG-31s in there. Set that to Q, why not? And it's a big plane battle, and the engine handles it, right? Reminds me of that Star Wars mod. The FPS is going down. And so you can get things that wouldn't be possible in an AI-based game. So if you want to make some cool cinematics and stuff, this is going to save you a lot of time, because you can spawn the enemies in the right places, right? Let's say you want to test how good an MMG is versus a HMG. That's a popular one, right? So we just type in MAG here, set that to A, and then 12.7, set that to Q. You can also change the veterancies they come in. That's here, experience level, right? So save keys, and then I can do, Shift A, the spawning in the buildings, right? So an MAG, okay, this is a para one, but, they should be 15, whereas the HMGs are 30, right? So you can do Q, and there you go. So this should be 15, but because the para one... Oh, no! The flipping bombers are... Oh, that's how it's still going, right? And then you can speed it up, and you can see that the HMG loses to the 2 MMGs. So, I hope this gave you some ideas. It is an extremely powerful and useful tool, and it's completely slept on. They put a lot of... People asked for this, they put a lot of effort into giving it to us, and then nobody used it, so do give it some love. I'll see you around.